100% all in.
We're just going to Clemson. LSU fan came and spike in my booty. Roll Tide, fuck you.
Roll Tide! Roll, baby!
Oh, bitch.
Are you that stupid?
Yes, I am.
I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's a fucking shit show.
Welcome into the shit show. Welcome into CSF Late Nights. Good evening. My name is Rob Sanders. I come to you from the armpit of the earth, Columbia, South Carolina, where it's hotter than absolute hell the majority of the time, even though today it wasn't so bad. But we wake up tomorrow and it might be 780 fucking degrees. My two friends from the land of Louisiana join us. Tonight, on top is Average Dave. Dave, welcome to the show.
What up, people?
And on the bottom, the sloppy party bottom this evening, he'll be taking all the back shots.
Yeah.
Your friend, the gnome. What up, gnome? He's like, yeah, whatever.
It's the Bayou State, by the way.
Yeah, let's see here. Folks already checking in. Andre, Edwin. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks for checking out the show. Andre is gonna cut our salary. He's gonna take a percentage of nothing. And they get absolutely nothing. Anyway,
I have been paid.
I know, right?
Wait, you've been getting paid to do the show?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It only averages up to like a penny a show, but I've been paid.
You two are
Fractions
fuckers.
of a penny.
What? Oh, David, that they're playing with his dick, as he calls it, or his penis. Is it dick or penis? You guys call it his penis.
Yeah, I think it's called a penis.
It's penis.
I think it's called a penis. For folks that don't know, the penis is the military term for his vape. So we just call it. It went from his penis to his. Well, it's his dick he's playing with to now whatever.
It's my personal electronic nicotine inhalation system.
Jesus Christ. There's things like that I don't miss about the military. You guys have names for everything. So
yeah,
anyway,
I don't think they had vapes back in your day.
Are you implying that I'm old?
In my day, we didn't have
old
mods.
Get off my lawn.
You're still waiting to hit puberty over there to get over 4'2", and you're talking to me about being old.
Gnomes hit that puberty
You
late.
might start sprouting hair. You might be able to grow a beard like I've got. Who knows?
It's great.
That's not a beard. That's some fake Santa Claus shit you painted on there. That's not a beard. Get the hell out of here. This is a beard. Anyway, I don't know what we're gonna. I kind of know what we're gonna talk about this evening, somewhat. But Team USA basketball plays in about an hour and 12 minutes. They will be playing Australia, a team they lost to in the exhibitions, whatever the hell you want to call it. So hopefully they can beat the Aussies so they can go to the gold medal game. If not, then I'll be cursing a lot on Twitter. Make sure you follow me there at Rob Sounds Good, because I will not be happy.
Let's be real. America doesn't have a prayer against the Australian team because Coach K's not coaching.
That's right. You see, y'all finally learned something from this show.
I just had to get the gnome riled up.
Dude,
hold on, I got a soundbite for that. I got a soundbite for that.
They look good against Spain. They did.
I got a soundbite for that. Hold on. Damn it, I can't find my soundbite. Ugh. Damn it. No, I mean, they did look good against Spain. But when it comes to that,
Fuck him and also fuck him.
Exactly. fuck him and also fuck him. Anyway. Yeah, Edwin said that's something we could talk about. How the hell does your quarterback get into a fishing accident and break his arm? I mean, is this LSU team snake bit? I'm serious, because I've heard of a lot of things, but hey, I broke my arm fishing. What the fuck?
I don't know that the team is snake bit, but Miles Brennan definitely appears to be so.
Who was that pitcher? He was a major league pitcher years ago. I think it was like World Series or NLCS or something. He fucking threw his arm out playing like Wii or some shit.
Yeah, I mean It's just the weirdest shit ever. I mean, and I'm not, let's make sure that we put this out there. I'm not mocking Miles Brennan. I'm just saying it's like Friday. How you gonna get fired on your day off?
Yes.
How do you possibly break your arm?
Your boy Andre.
Throwing arm.
Fuck out of here.
And if I'm
Your
not
boy Andre's gonna call in.
Humorous.
So this is the upper arm is what he broke.
Yeah,
right? Is that
humorous.
okay? Yeah, all right.
Right.
What the? What was he catching? Some kind of? Was he catching one of them catfish or something? You guys got down? I mean, I honestly don't know what he was catching, but he broke his damn
Apparently
arm.
he fell.
Your boy Andre is gonna call in, and the first thing he's gonna say is that he doesn't mean any disrespect towards Brennan, but he thinks Mac Johnson is the right one for the job. Anyways, I completely disagree.
Oh, who's all right now? I'm going to be honest with you. I have to cover 2 depth charts here in Columbia, and I try to keep up with everybody's team. And I could probably tell you a little bit about LSU and a little bit about every team. But as far as knowing who the backup quarterback is now for LSU, who's your backup?
So Mac Johnson will be the starter, and Garrett Nussmeier is going to be the number 2 until Brennan comes back.
Nussmeier is the son of he's one of the coordinators for the Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on, my wife sent me a TikTok video. Hold on. Holy shit. My wife just sends me TikTok videos all the time. But anyway, phone lines are open at 803-470-2905. I just wonder, LSU had that quarterback transfer out. Is that going to be something that may hurt them?
No.
As far as depth?
No.
I think so. Okay. And I'm not being smart ass. I just honestly don't know.
Finley might have been the 4th best quarterback on this team.
TJ Finley understood the writing on the wall. So Miles Brennan gets hurt last year, and then they hand the ball to TJ Finley, who does an okay job until he's not doing an okay job anymore. And then they hand the ball to Max Johnson, who loses to Alabama, but then beats Florida and finishes with a win against Ole Miss. So, by
the way, Finley beat that South Carolina ass like a fucking Christmas tree.
Right.
I mean, let's. I remember. I remember that game when I'm watching it, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is this kid?"
Right.
He should be a number 1 pick for that win.
He looked like Kenny Hill did when South Carolina's first game against Texas A&M, and Kenny Hill came in. Nobody knew who he was. He threw for like 500 yards. Spurrier's on the sideline looking around like, what the fuck? All right, welcome into CSF Late Nights. Good evening.
Going on, man? To be fair,
it's
anybody would beat South Carolina like that last year, man. Come on, man. Anybody could have.
Bo Nix didn't. Bo Nix looked like a pro against them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
Hold on, you just said anybody, sir. Words are important here. Bo Nix looked like a dickhead against South Carolina. South Carolina beat Auburn last year.
Didn't they beat Georgia too?
I think with Jonathan, I totally think that Max Johnson will fit the offense better with the RPO. He moves better, and here's the deal: you're a freshman quarterback, right? You've not started the game for LSU. You go into the swamp. Now, granted, it's Florida. They're a shit show. I give you that. But the swamp's one of the hardest places to play in the SEC. He goes out there his first start with the garbage defense. No defense. And he goes out there and wins. Now, granted, the shoe helps, But, boy, he showed, dude. I mean, you got to be impressed by that. I mean, and think about this. Brad Johnson, his dad, okay? Now, granted, he's not the best NFL quarterback in history.
He's got a Super Bowl ring.
My God, he played in the NFL. Absolutely. So this kid has been raised to be a quarterback. How is it a bad thing that Max Johnson, and from all the reports, him and Miles Brennan were neck and neck for the job. Why is it a bad thing that Max Johnson started?
From the outside looking in, though, sir, and I'm not trying to be combative with you fucking LSU fans. I don't need that roasting me on Twitter.
No, you don't.
Fight with you fuckers is just fucking stupid.
We're not Georgia.
No, Georgia fans are bitches. We'll get into that later on. But From the outside looking in, I think everyone thought that Miles Brennan was going to be the quarterback. They've seen what he did the first 3 games of the season, put up some great numbers. Offense wasn't the problem for LSU last year. I think we all can agree upon that. It was that piece of shit you had for a defensive coordinator. I think that any other defensive coordinator in the SEC, LSU would have won 7 to 8 games. I mean, if I would have been out there calling shots, it would have been very simple. It would have been like, look, I would have gotten your 2 All-American defensive backs. I would have ripped their face mask and said point blank, you're going to cover the number 1 receiver. You're going to cover the number 2 receiver. If you get burnt, your ass is going to sit on the bench for fucking ever. Deal with it. We'd play man up and see what the fuck happened. The only team that really would have outmatched you would have been Alabama with the receivers that they had, and quite possibly Florida with Pitts if you went straight up man to man against them. But with the defense that you guys had, that's what they should have done. But your defensive coordinator was dumber than a box of hammers.
I don't think Pitts played against us, did he?
Yeah, it was. No, Pitts did Pitts play in the game against? Did he play? I don't remember. I'm just saying at the end of it all, I think that's the only matchup she would have had issues with. But anyway, I think that people thought Brenly was going to be the quarterback. But I mean, Johnson went in and won that game at Florida.
But they were honestly neck and neck according to the local media. You know, it wasn't like Brennan was like far and away the number 1 quarterback.
Didn't Brennan have a better spring?
I'm totally fine with it.
Who had the better spring? I mean, Brennan had the better spring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what had him winning the job.
But it wasn't a blowout though. That's the thing. I mean, he wasn't taking a job and saying this is mine and only mine. That's the thing.
But you know,
he can move around too.
You know, Andre, when Johnson played in that Florida game, it's not like he just walked in off the sidelines. He split time through a lot of Philly starts. Philly didn't just play straight through all those games. What?
Yeah, the only time Finley looked good was when he was playing against South Carolina. He was watching that game.
That was his best game, and that's what solidified him as the starter for a little while. Was that fucking game?
Well, you want to know the crazy thing about that game is I rip South Carolina a lot, but the first defensive player taken in the NFL draft this year was from South Carolina.
Cornerback.
The cornerback. God, what's his name? I forget his name, but J.C. Horn. Yeah. J.C. Horn, Joe Horn's kid.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. So a guy that can actually play, and Israel Mukwamu was the guy that picked off the Georgia quarterback twice. I mean, so South Carolina had some guys, some actual dudes in that secondary, but but when I look at it though, he goes out there and was throwing all over those guys. Finley was doing some good stuff there, but then I don't know, man. It was everything else. He looked like a shithole. It's like, he's going to Auburn. Great. He might unseat Bo Nix. Well, Bo Nix is terrible too.
I'm glad Finley is gone.
Maybe they got Finley so that when they come to South Carolina, he could just go back out there and hopefully they'll have that magic again. And Auburn won't lose to South Carolina again this year. Maybe that was their thinking. Yeah.
Wait, does Auburn play? Is that their?
They play at South Carolina again this year. Thank you, COVID.
That's their inner divisional game.
Last year they had to play here, and then this year they play here in Columbia again. Thank you, COVID. Thank you, COVID. You can suck my dick.
Oh, right. Yeah, gotcha.
It's a shit show. Whole COVID is still fucking up the schedule. It's ridiculous what COVID's doing. It's insane.
I don't hate that TJ Finley transferred out. I think you kind of saw the writing on the wall with Max Johnson going to project ahead of him on the depth chart. Plus, for the future, because let's assume that they don't extend Miles Brennan's eligibility another year because he's with it. The humerus fracture is
you don't have to. Last year didn't count.
Yeah, last year's a free
well, there you go. I'm just thinking of it long term. maybe it plays into the Arch Manning recruitment. I don't really see LSU getting Arch, but
you got Nussmeier, and then next year you're gonna have Howard coming in.
Yeah, Walker Howard.
It's just the writing was on the wall.
Evan with a good point here. Word around the program is that Max was going to be the starter, but O was holding out hope for Brennan. I mean, Edwin also said it too, that he thought that Finley leaving wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, he remember him telling me that,
I think he would have more opportunity at Auburn. And
I don't think that LSU is a team that, I don't know how I can put this. I think Miles Brennan was good, but I don't think you're going to lose any games because of Johnson. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that on paper you could theoretically lose to Alabama and I mean, insert, another team here. I don't know, but
Florida.
I don't think that you beat Bama with Brennan. I don't think he's the turning over point. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It does. Because think about this: Max Johnson can move around. What is Bama? What's one of their biggest Achilles heels?
Oh well, that's Deshaun Watson, broke it off in Alabama, and it really screwed with
Menzel
with
too.
Saban. Yeah, Saban hates mobile.
And then
quarterbacks.
look, was it last year? Old boy from Ole Miss.
Yeah, the kid that
they didn't win.
The kid that was it was like
win,
2. It was, what was it, like 3 years ago when the kid that was at Clemson, Chad Kelly, Jim Kelly's nephew, went in and he beat Alabama at Ole Miss. Remember that? He could move the ball around. He could, he was all over the place. People forget that
I'm excited about Mac Johnson.
Dabo had to kick him off the team because he roughed up Miss South Carolina in the parking lot. Literally roughed up a beauty queen in the parking lot. Dabo had to kick him off the team. Get the fuck out of here. Now he's a star at Ole Miss. Yay! Look at me. What kind of a fucking idiot do you have to be to rough up a beauty queen in a parking lot? Think about that for a second. How much of a disgusting individual do you have to be?
Right.
You're gonna rough up a 95-pound beauty queen in a parking lot.
It's one thing to rough up a woman, but when she's gorgeous, I mean, come on.
It's not even that. I'd like to see Chad Kelly.
Hey.
Slow down with all that. I'd like to see Chad Kelly try to rough up who's the chick from the woman from wrestling. God, I can't remember her name. But the big.
Shoot, hey, you could get Charlotte Flair, probably whoop him.
Oh, Charlotte Flair would
Ronda
kick him in the teeth. Ronda Rousey would break his arm. Yeah, a beauty queen.
Now I want to know who Rob's talking about. Which one?
Yeah, I gotta look it up. Hold on.
Any of the
Give me a
women from
description.
wrestling.
Which promotion?
She's in WWE. Hold on.
Right now?
Yeah,
you're talking about
she's a big girl.
Oh, come on.
Tamina?
You just interviewed her.
Nia Jax. Yeah, fight Nia Jax.
Oh my God, Nia Jax would hurt.
Nia Jax would
probably hurt
kill
him.
him. Nia Jax would break his legs like a damn wishbone. I'm looking at the women's wrestlers here. Charlotte Flair would beat him up. Becky Lynch would beat him up. Bayley would probably beat him up. Asuka would kick him in the face. Nia Jax would kill him. Lita would kill him.
That's how you end up getting a humerus broken.
Nikki Cross would fucking knock his teeth out.
What's that girl?
Ember Moon.
You just interviewed.
Rhea Ripley.
She would kill
Rhea
him.
Ripley is a legit 6'3". She would hit him right in his testicles. She would not give a fuck. Rhea Ripley would definitely knock his punk ass out. Anyway, Chad Kelly, scum of the earth. Fuck him forever. Roughing up a beauty queen in a parking lot. Get the hell out of here. Shouldn't rough up women anyway. Let's make sure we put that out there. But when you seen it was Miss South Carolina, she went on. I think she finished like third in the Miss USA rankings or whatever. But like she was like 95 pounds, and he's out there throwing her around. Fuck out of here.
Back in the day, Allie Landry would have whipped his ass.
Probably so.
Oh, Miss Louisiana.
Yeah. Andre, what else do you have for the show? Are you happy with Johnson getting the job? I feel bad for Brennan, man.
No, you can't
feel
tell,
bad.
huh? I mean, yeah, I feel bad for Brennan too, but I'm sorry. I was listening to who I think it was Matt Moscona today, and they were talking about. I think they were interviewing a doctor, and the doctor even said, "You only see those kind of injuries is like in like car accidents. You don't see that in freaking football, you know."
Fishing.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Max. I mean, I don't even know if Miles will even get a chance to start again at LSU because if Max builds upon what he did last year, he has no chance. And you got Nuss behind him, and then Walker Howard coming in. I mean, dude, I don't even know what would Miles Brennan do. I mean, where would he transfer? Would anybody honestly give him a shot?
Yeah.
The only reason
Evan
why I
says
feel bad
Moscona is a
So-
fucking clown. I thought Moscona did good
But he
work
interviewed,
on
but he interviewed a doctor today, though. He interviewed a doctor, and the doctor was explaining it. And you know, it's not a throwing arm, but seriously, why in the world, if LSU's rolling, you wouldn't give Miles another shot? Why accept that? So I think he won't play again unless Max Johnson just totally tanks, and they don't think Nussmeier's going to be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it might be the end of his career at LSU. I mean, and the thing is too, if you're the start quarterback of a major program, why would you sit there and risk doing something to break your arm? I mean, what'd you do? Slip
he
and
was
fall off a
fishing.
dock or something and hit and break your arm?
He was
I
fishing.
mean,
I don't
the
know.
weirdest-
I don't
it's
know
the
that
weirdest
anybody
story I've
considered
ever heard.
fishing
It's the weirdest story I've ever heard. I mean, it
They
really
never
is
said-
like Jeff Kent in baseball, fucking up his arm, washing his car. I'm not saying I don't believe Brennan. I'm just saying something happened there.
They
that we
they
just
never
don't-
said he hurt himself fishing. He hurt himself at the fishing camp.
This is a fishing trip.
Oh,
I mean, if you ever go to a fishing camp down here in the South, they're all up there on stilts. He could have easily fallen walking down the stairs and broke his freaking arm. They just said at the fishing camp.
probably flipped a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Probably braced himself and snapped.
or a beauty queen
Fuck
kicked
me.
him in his eye.
He's not dead.
I'm working.
But man,
Could be
I
that
don't
too.
like how quickly Coach O named Max Johnson the starter. I bet Coach O was like, "Oh, I feel bad for Brennan. Thank God I ain't got to make this decision."
Edwin says, according to his
All
dad,
right.
he was carrying fishing equipment, tripped, and fell into something. What the fuck?
Right.
If you're that uncoordinated, you probably shouldn't be quarterbacking an SEC football team.
The only reason
I,
why
I hate to
feel
be
bad
that
for-
file, but
Right. The only reason why I feel bad for Brennan is because that's a kid who did everything the right way. He bided his time. He didn't transfer out. He didn't pitch a bitch when Joe Burrow came in. All that stuff. He was legit set on doing the work to become the LSU starter. However long that took him, he was going to use up all his eligibility to get there, and then he's probably finally there. He gets injured last year, and now he's injured again this year. So.
yeah.
I
Well,
Did
don't
you know
think the team is snake bits, but I
Danny
think he
Etling,
is.
dude? Danny freaking Etling. That's how long he's been there. Was it like 2017? He's been there forever. It does suck that he won't get a chance to do it, but I'm sorry, man. Next man up. This is football.
yeah.
So, oh well. That's all I got, guys.
All right. Well, Andre, thanks for calling the program. We appreciate it, buddy.
Roll Tide off the cliff.
There you go. Andre joining the
Oh,
show.
man.
You can join the show now at 803-470-2905. Bill, who is known by some as the bitch, says, don't try to give fishing advice, Jonathan. You don't anything about fishing. Okay. Bill, we got to get you where you're typing in complete sentences, sir. You're not helping the Clemson fan base with what you wrote there.
And,
I read that verbatim. Jonathan, don't try to give fishing advice. You don't anything out fishing. Do better, Bill. Do better. I've seen you write sentences, sir. Do better, man.
and what red-blooded Louisianian would take fishing advice from a bitch anyway?
Oh shit. Anyway, with all
Love
that,
you, Bill.
Love you, Bill. Bill's gonna. Bill said he had 80 dogs. Now he's only got 40. That's real. He said he had 80 dogs. How the fuck do you have 80 dogs?
No thanks.
I mean, Bill's a hell of a guy. I
I've got
got
3.
2 dogs, and I'm like, I don't want any more than the 2.
Right. I've got 3, and I'm like, that's enough.
Jesus, man, that's insane. All right. Well, 803-470-2905. You want to talk about that? If you want to talk about the quarterback, it's not really a situation at LSU. Everybody kind of knew that. I mean, they knew that Johnson would be the starter. And yeah, I mean, nothing to really talk about there. Clemson lost one of their offensive linemen to injury. He tore his pec. I mean, okay. I'm not sure how that happened. He's a backup offensive lineman, so we'll see. Edwin wants to know if you were on the phone with your bookie there, Gnome.
I wish I was on the phone with my bookie. Instead, is fucking work.
At 11:30 at night? What the hell are you working at? A brothel?
The fucking oil field never sleeps, man. Never sleeps.
Okay. Man's got to work. Man's got to work. We seen you back there talking on the phone. We thought you were saying things like, I want Team USA, and I'm giving up 15, not 15 and a half.
So I just thought that somebody was calling to ask him about his car's extended warranty.
So yeah, and I finally decided to talk to them about it. So Dave, Rob doesn't know. Well, Rob might know, but yeah, because Rob, you used to be stationed close to Venice, right?
Close to what? I was stationed in New Orleans.
Okay, Bell Chase.
Yeah, I mean, I know where that is.
Yeah,
but I was pretty much stationed in New Orleans.
This is the second time in 2 nights.
I had a girlfriend down there that like her parents lived somewhere down there, and I went hunting or something with her dad down there, but I don't remember exactly where it was that we went. We were just in the middle of nowhere, and I thought that he was going to kill me because basically some idiot kid from South Carolina is dating his daughter, right. Which now I get because I have a daughter. I don't want anybody dating my daughter. Fuck that. You might end up in a ditch.
This is like the second night in 2 days that some asshole,
fuck all of them.
Asshole's supposed to be in Port Fourchon, but they end up in Venice. Now, if you know anything about the tip of Louisiana, Venice and Fourchon are like right here, except to get from one to the other, you have to go all the way the fuck around to get back to the other.
I know my wife, like I've been trying to I have to make weight for my weightlifting competition next week. So I can't really have any like sweet stuff right now. My wife's been just butchering me walking around with this milkshake. That woman hates me. I'm convinced of that. She fucking hates me.
Apparently it's not.
I'm having to drink fucking sparkling ice fucking stuff. That's what I get. Fuck out of here. I'll be glad when this competition's over. Get this shit over with. I can actually have some fucking real food. Looking forward to that. Eating goddamn protein chips. Bullshit. Fuck it. Wednesday night next week, that show, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a short, cranky motherfucker. I'm gonna be because I'm gonna have to cut weight. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water, and I might have to piss a lot, and it's just gonna be stupid. Fucking what the fuck have I got myself?
How much weight do you have to cut?
I think I'm like 7 pounds off, something like that. 7-8 pounds off.
That's not terrible.
I'll probably lose 2 or 3 this week, but I'm probably got to sweat through 4 or 5 pounds. I'm thinking. So, but we'll see. Not looking forward to it.
I mean, because you want that specific weight class. What's wrong with the weight class you're already in?
I want to. It's just the weight class that I've been competing at. It is the one that I want to make sure I'm in that class. So that's just what I've trained for. So.
I assume in the world of weightlifting, if you go up to the next class, the weight that you're in currently, those guys lift a little bit more.
Yeah, if I don't make the weight class, then I'll be in a class with a bunch of some big dudes. So, yeah.
Did y'all see? Speaking of weightlifting, that the New Zealand transgender weightlifter Laurel
she couldn't lift it one time.
She failed because she didn't have a clean snatch.
Right, a clean snatch. She had a dirty snatch.
3 failures all at one time. Yeah, there's that.
The trans woman didn't have a clean snatch.
Did you see the American lady that was lifting with her in the same heat, and she got all of her lifts, and she was giving her the eat shit and die look too. Did you see that? It was like fuck you, bitch. I mean, it looked really harsh, really did. Andre says outside of Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and I think he's saying and Oklahoma, what teams have a chance to compete for a national championship? If you told me to pick one, somebody outside those four, I would go with Iowa State. After that, I'm saying I think Iowa State has an opportunity to do that. Okay. They're a top 10 team. I mean, look at what they've got. Got a good quarterback returning. I think Iowa State has an other than those four. I mean, why not?
Iowa State. I mean, they've had some solid teams. I would say I would give them the benefit of the doubt that they would win the Big 12, but I wouldn't say that they have a shot at a national title.
I'm always interested in seeing some of these other outlier programs.
I mean, I could sit here and say, oh, well, it has to be LSU. I don't know. Look, we don't know how good your defensive coordinator is yet. On paper, he may be good, but in reality, we don't know if he can rally the troops yet or not. We don't know if they're gun shy or not from looking like fuckos last year. We don't know that.
We don't know fuck about shit. Shit about fuck.
But we do know. I do know that Iowa State has a lot returning. And I think that if other than those four, I think that there's an opportunity there for them to have a chance to do it. I believe that. I'm not going to pick Georgia because fuck them and their fans. I'm past the point of being trying to give you an unbiased thing with Georgia. Fuck them and their fans forever. Folks that follow me on Facebook, I posted it today where I was in this group and everything has to be censored. Like I was in a group with them and they were censoring my buddy and I was one of the admins. So I put back all of his comments because the other guy was deleting all of his comments. Right. And it wasn't anything vulgar. It was just, things like, tell me about the last great Georgia team. I'll wait. Just things like that, and this guy's like, he was talking about, tell us about how Georgia does against when they play a team that has a good quarterback. I'll wait, because when they played against good quarterbacks, Georgia gets their ass kicked. We can talk about Trask from last year throwing for almost 500 yards. Mac Jones lit him up like a Christmas tree. Joe Burrow lit him up like a Christmas tree.
Well, Mac Jones is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Well, I'm just saying, when you're a pretty good quarterback, you can throw on Georgia. It's proven. I don't give a shit how many athletes they've got. If you've got a good quarterback, you can light up that Georgia defense. All good quarterbacks do. And this guy, he went through and deleted all of this stuff, and then took my admin rights away. So I went off on the guy and told him he was softer than Charmin, and I meant that too. But I think all Georgia fans are like that. What a soft ass fan base. I mean, hadn't won shit in forever, and just soft. I mean,
I've been talking to a lot of Texas and OU fans lately, and I wouldn't say they're soft, but they've been fun to interact with. Way more fun than I've had interacting with Georgia fans who are completely delusional.
When the last time Clemson played Oklahoma, they had two matchups with Oklahoma where they won both of them. They beat them in the it was the last bowl that we played in before we've had our 6-year run in the CFP. It was some bowl down in Florida that no one cares about, but our backup quarterback went and threw for 500 yards, closed out, because Deshaun Watson was hurt, and he went out and threw for 500 yards against OU. Their fans were all, we're going to beat the shit out of you. And then I think it was 2 years later, we played them in the playoffs and beat the shit out of them there too. They hate Clemson. It's great.
The thing about Oklahoma fans that I've noticed is they know where they're at. Yes, they expect every year that they're going to be in the conversation for the national title, but they're not fucking delusional. They know what keeps happening to them every fucking year, and they accept it and they move on. They don't act like they're war beaters, you people over there below South Carolina.
Well, Edwin's comment's good here. I've lost all respect for Kirby as a coach. Let him recruit. Someone else needs to make coaching decisions. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. And, Kirby Smart, if I was trying to be unbiased, I would say, man, the guy's put together talent. The guy's got this player to go there and that player to go there, but he's made some dumb decisions. I mean, he let Justin Fields walk, and there was talk in a lot of Georgia groups that there may have been a racial component to that because they didn't want to put in the kind of offense that Justin Fields needs because they didn't want a black quarterback running around and throwing the ball. That's the vibe that some Georgia fans had. They want to continue to run that pro-style offense where we hand the ball off and check down and play action instead of, honey, can you get her, Pete? As my dog's trying to pilfer in our trash can like an idiot. But they're the racial undertones there with that. I mean, it's there, and the stuff that was yelled at him in the stands and all that. Let a first round pick go away because your coaching staff really wasn't behind him, and they thought that Jake Fromm was better. Not so much. And then he never makes second half adjustments either. Terrible. He really is when it comes to all that. So
no. I think you said that wrong. It's not even about second half adjustments. I've seen games where they're up 24-3 in the first half.
Right.
They completely do the opposite of adjustments. They just completely fuck it up in the second half.
Well, that's why they hired Bill Muschamp to fix that.
That's right.
He analyzes the coaches. That's Kirby Smart's line. He's here to analyze us. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Those two are probably hugging each other on the sidelines. It wouldn't surprise me in the least.
So Rob, change the subject. What's the true story behind Florida State and Clemson? Like, what's the true story? First of all, it is true. Outside of mega million buyouts, they can't even do anything till 2035, right?
2030. Are you talking about them leaving the ACC? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were talking about Florida State bitching out on Clemson last year and not wanting to take that L because they.
No, I think we did. I think we did 4 shows about that already. So.
Well, we can still talk about that.
We did.
Dabo Swinney's going to hang 70 on Norvell when they come up to Clemson this year. You watch. That's going to happen. Good luck, bro. Good luck. If he can hang 100, he would. I mean, Ugalele's going to be trying to run in with 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and they're up 70 to 3. If the defense gives up a touchdown, they're going to be running in July. I mean, that's how much Dabo Swinney wants that game. But anyway, as far as Clemson and Florida State leaving the ACC, there was a guy that in the upstate that put that rumor out there, and he was right now in our society. If you're wrong, and you just because sometimes people will float things just to see where they'll go, and he's an idiot and floated that story, and it ended up biting him in the ass. I mean, but it got so big that the Florida State president had to come out and say, yeah, we're not leaving the conference. So the way that it works, though, is that if Clemson decided to leave the ACC, then there is no buyout clause. But whatever Clemson gets as far as their TV money goes to the ACC. So you can leave, no penalty. But your TV money, you're not getting any of it. It goes to the conference if you decide to leave until 2037. Now, they may be able to work out something behind the scenes. I don't know. But there's not like a $20 million buyout or whatever it is. So I don't think either one of them are going anywhere. What's that?
When you say their TV money,
yes, their allotment of TV money from whoever goes to the ACC.
Yeah, but if they're making money in the SEC, who gives a fuck?
But their check will whatever they get for TV, the ACC will own their rights to television.
So if they have whatever money they're getting from the SEC television rights goes to the ACC,
Goes to the ACC. Yep.
which is bigger than any buyout deal you could possibly have.
Exactly. That's why there's no fee. Just we get your money. So I don't think Clemson's going anywhere. I think what may end up happening, and there's already talk, the Big 12 and the Pac-12 are talking about possibly getting together and doing something where I think eventually those two conferences might mesh together. And I think that the ACC and the Big 10 will probably do the same thing. And I think we'll end up with, you'll have the SEC will pluck a couple of more teams. I think that's what's going to happen. And then we'll go from there. You know, the talk was, hey, let's get West Virginia in the mix. But the ACC could have had West Virginia a long time ago, and they didn't really want them then. I think that they want Notre Dame big time, and I think Notre Dame will eventually have to make that jump. But the reality is that after Notre Dame, it'll be whoever Notre Dame, I think, wants to bring with them. And, you know, I think there'll be a lot of meetings behind closed doors, but it's probably not going to be West Virginia if they into the ACC. It'll be Notre Dame and someone else, but we'll see. But the idea of Clemson and Florida State going, I think, is a little far-fetched.
How excited are y'all to watch Notre Dame play Tulsa on the Peacock streaming service?
That's something that's interesting too. If you want to watch the Team USA basketball game tonight, it's on the Peacock. It's on the cock. So it's like that's kind of the new thing now. And I think that people are going to have to get used to that because that's going to be the new way things go. I mean, it used to be like the way it is now. You've got your ESPN app. You can pull up whatever the hell you want. Now there's going to be streaming folks that are going to get involved with it. I think that eventually Netflix is going to get in on it. Wouldn't surprise me if Amazon got in on it. And, you know, you can watch your games on Prime or whatever. You're going to have to be subscribed to a good bit of stuff if you want to catch your team. So, you know, it's all about TV money.
My problem
that becomes garbage. It becomes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said there, Jonathan.
Wait for Dave. It becomes crap because like I already spent enough money on fucking cable TV, and I have HBO fucking Max, and I got ESPN Plus and Disney Plus and fucking Netflix and fucking Amazon Prime. Like I have enough of crap.
Well,
and you keep adding.
Here's the thing though, and I'm not saying this will happen, but let's say that the SEC signs an exclusive deal with NBC. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Let's say that it did, and NBC looks at you and says, "Subscribe to the Peacock, or you don't get to watch LSU at all. You'll pay."
Fucking right.
Dave will pay. I mean, it's just the way that it is.
Well, I mean, in that case, I'm bye ESPN Plus.
Right, but that's the thing. You'll figure out what's best for you.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen though, and I think that a lot of the ESPN stuff is a lot of the SEC stuff is going to be on ESPN Plus. I think that you'll have like your regular matchups, but then, you know, when LSU is playing Vanderbilt, as an example, no one really outside of LSU or, you know, the 12 fans at Vanderbilt give a shit. So they're going to put that on the cock. And then you'll have, you know, whatever other non-marquee matchups will be right there on Peacock. I think or on ESPN Plus. I'm sorry. So that's what's going to happen when it's all about the streaming rights. That's the way it's going to work
right now. And Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, right now, I don't have to go to ESPN Plus to watch a single LSU game. If it's not on one of the big networks, like, you know, ESPN, CBS, it's going to at least be on ESPN.
But when the new TV deal comes out,
the SEC network.
But when the new TV deal comes out, that may be the way that it happens, though, is that a lot of it's going to go to streaming.
I streamed the LSU games last season.
Well, yeah, if it's on the SEC network, it's going to be on ESPN Plus anyways.
Yeah, but I think, a perfect example is the South Carolina matchup at the beginning of the season is only streaming. with Eastern Illinois. And I know South Carolina is not the power that LSU is, but I'm just saying when you have a non-marquee matchup, it's going to be that way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way that it's going to be, and you're going to pick out what you want.
And you know, the thing is, if we're talking about South Carolina, talk about the Rage Cajuns, you know, outside of the Sun Belt and these smaller conferences that do the Thursday night games and Wednesday night games, where they're the only game in town where you can watch them. The only way to watch the Cajuns, which it's great, you can at least watch them every week, is ESPN Plus, or like you said, what if the Sun Belt signed a deal with Peacock or with NBC?
But Audra says the SEC networks carries. Yeah, but I'm just saying, after your marquee games, they're going to move some of the. Because see, what's going to happen is that ESPN's going to have to pay more for the SEC, and because they've got more teams. I mean, it's just reality. When the SEC renews their contract, they're not going to be able to. They're going to walk in and ask for a shit ton of more money, and they're going to get it.
I mean, you know who pays for that?
Adding OU in Texas,
right?
But you know who pays for that?
Yeah, me and you, and whoever else has to pay for ESPN. But here's the thing, though: the other end of it is that the ACC is going to look around because ESPN only has so much money, and they're going to be like, "Well, wait a minute, you're telling me that we're not going to get more money too? No, fuck that. They're going to go somewhere else." The next key is going to be Fox, because Fox has the Pac-12, which is why you see all their games over there. And it's going to be, whoever can step up for the ACC. It's going to be, it may be Fox, it may be whoever. I don't know. So,
network.
Huh?
USA Network.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't know, but I mean, somebody's going to get into the mix, and it's going to be at a point where the only way you're going to be able to watch it is to stream it.
I think the only disappointing part that Notre Dame is going to be on the cock for their game against Tulsa is that is the debut of Drew Brees as a broadcaster, and now it's on the cock. Drew Brees on the cock with Notre Dame.
Yeah, with Notre Dame. Anyway,
it's not that important to me. I love Drew Brees.
I don't know who's got the Big Ten's on ESPN, but ESPN can't have all of it anymore. They're not going to be able to afford all of it.
Well,
they're just
and Big 12 is Fox.
Yeah, Big 12 is Fox. I'm just saying they're not going to be able to afford all of it. They're not. So it's going to be different in ways that you watch the game this year. Just not this year, but down the road. So there's that.
Did Disney purchase Fox Sports when they acquired Fox? Do they now own ESPN?
No, Disney owns ESPN. They don't own Fox. I don't think Disney owns Fox.
Yes, that's how they got Deadpool.
I got to Google that. I don't know. Hold on. Let me Google that.
That's how they got Deadpool?
Yeah, because they bought Fox.
I don't know if they own Fox Sports. Hold on.
They didn't? I know they didn't purchase Fox.
Well, someone asked this: does Disney own Fox? In October 20th Century Fox Television, a small screen studio that Disney bought as part of the deal, became a new major entity, Disney Television Studios. Mr. Murdoch still owns the Fox Broadcast Network, Fox News, and a chain of 28 local television stations. So they own Fox Sports. There you go. That's what we want.
Yeah, Fox has several different entities.
Fox Sports is the brand name of a number of sports channels, and the rest, they are. Hold on, let's see here. The owner is Fox Corporation. Oh wow, Disney owns the international rights. I did not know that. So they own Fox Sports International. There you go. Well,
that was
everything.
It was the reason why Disney went after Fox was because they were having this enormous success with Marvel, and they wanted more of the Marvel property owned by Fox.
So I remember that.
They bought that so that they could get Deadpool, the Fantastic Four, and all the other properties that Fox owned. And the only thing they really don't own are the Marvel properties by Sony, which I think is just Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was listening to this same story this morning. But anyway, yeah, they don't own Fox News either. Separate entity.
I don't know how that'll work, but somebody's gonna jump into the mix, and maybe you're gonna end up with games somewhere. I don't know how.
But I mean, you can see who's the richest motherfucker in the world.
Bezos.
Right. So you could see that shit happening. Some fucking Amazon Prime fucking football,
That's the joke at my house. Who's the richest rapper in the world? Jeff Bezos. Nobody wraps more packages.
That's right.
Jesus. That's a bad joke. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's eventually how it's going to be. So there's that. Andre says Hulk is owned by Universal. That's sure.
Hey, that roller coaster is epic.
Yeah.
It is a good roller coaster. But Universal doesn't own any of those properties anymore. That's all owned by Disney. And Universal is not allowed to change or add any of their existing rides. And I think under that agreement, Disney isn't allowed to develop any similar type attractions.
Oh, wow. Y'all are over my head. Like, my wife knows all that comic book stuff better than I do. I don't know any of that shit.
I'm just a huge Disney fan, so I try to keep up, especially since I'm going to Disney soon.
Yes, I'm a huge Disney fan. But the Hulk is fucking awesome. And Universal Studios is better than Disney World.
No, disagree.
Well, there you go. You two can get together and fight about that. Anyway.
Not much of a fight.
Not much of a fight. Where the hell did the gnome go? Is he
all I gotta do is this.
Well, look. Dave, I've been to Disney World 4 times, right? 2 times as a kid, 2 times as an adult. Taking my kids twice. I've done it. Every time I go, it's got to be Magic Kingdom. It's got to be Epcot. Love it. I mean, it's magical. But Universal Studios is the better park as you get older. It doesn't have the magic and the memories like Disney, but the park itself, the rides, the attractions, stuff like Transformers, it's just better than Disney.
Cool.
It's I've been there, done that. I mean, if you want to go,
especially now that Disney has Galaxy's Edge, man, I'm chomping at the bit.
The only thing you care about it's just a small world, but whatever.
I do love it.
Bill says he stood up for me in that crap Georgia group, called Brian a penis, which he absolutely is. Yes, he is.
I want to join that group so bad.
I left it because I mean I don't want to be anywhere where people are going to edit my comments, and no, dude.
I'm not. I mean, I guess technically I'm in several sports groups because of the old recruiting days, but I don't want to sound biased, but man, CSF is so much better than some of these shit fucking sports groups. No, look, Edwin, honestly, it's not that funny, Rob. Edwin, actually,
hilarious.
I didn't even consider that. That's
funny.
probably the reason why you don't like it, because you can't go on the rock and roller coaster.
You can't go on any of the rides.
Tower of Terror.
I have ridden the rock and roller coaster, and it's fucking great. But actually, It's a Small World is just a normal world for me.
Oh, Jesus, that's so great. That's what you get with the CSF group, is some off the top shit like that.
The greatest shit show in college sports.
But I mean, I think our group is
dude.
better than maybe there's other groups out there. I'm not in 1,000 groups like some people.
Well, okay, I can put this out there. Old man Scott used to he would delete my comments, right? But it wasn't. He would delete the stuff that I would say that might be edgy, okay? And
Then he asked you to do a show. That's edgy.
Yeah, but
anyways.
then like nothing in the CSF group has ever been Rob hit somebody in the face. Let's go and delete Rob's post. It's more of, you know what, fuck you, Rob. It's more of that. I can deal with that, but just deleting my stuff, so it's just or my friend's stuff, so it's just a one-way message. That's some straight up Russian shit. Why don't you just go to Russia? Go over there and you fucking be over there where everything's controlled. It's stupid. So, but then here's the best part. When I called him out on it, all these Georgia fans came to his defense. All of them. Not one, not two. There were like 20 Georgia fans that were like, look at this Clemson fan. He's upset about it. No. Take out of the realm that I support Clemson. You basically censored me and said that my voice wasn't important here when my team has won 2 out of the last 5 national titles and your team sucks asshole. Okay? My voice should be worth more here because you should want to be what my team is and not a fucking failure.
Well, you see, that's where you're
real.
wrong.
And these guys are like,
well, that's where you're wrong because
I hope Clemson wins by 70. We don't have to hear their fucking mouths anymore.
That's just another group which I see where the admins think they're the only important fucking opinion in the fucking group, and everybody else can suck a dick.
Look, I don't agree. Like, and when I first got into the CSF group, I didn't agree with any of you LSU admins. Didn't agree with any of you. Fuck all of you. I didn't agree with any of you afterwards. And I literally had people pissed off at me because I said Joe Burrow was a backup at Ohio State. I pissed off so many LSU fans.
But that was true.
He was a backup at Ohio State. He couldn't win the starting quarterback job at Ohio State. He left to come to LSU for playing time. All that's real. And of course, oh my God. And it's like, but nobody ever censored me for saying it. Georgia fans, though, would be livid. They think JT Daniels is the next Joe Burrows. That's the other funny thing.
But everything you said about Joe Burrow is truth. He was the backup at Ohio State.
He was.
He did need to get playing time for an opportunity to be a starting quarterback.
Yeah, but here's the best part. A lot of the LSU fans would get pissed, but I would say, point blank, once he got to LSU, he was fine. He just had to get away from fucking Ohio State. Maybe you can look at it as perspective as that Ohio State's a shithole.
To me, the best part about Joe Burrow was not the fact that he had this enormously high completion rate or that he threw for a record number of touchdowns or that he won the national title. I enjoyed the moxie that the dude had on the field. Like, he wasn't going to take anybody's shit. You could pop him in the mouth, he was going to stand right back up, evade the blitz, complete a pass down the field. He was going to get up and beat you. There was no reason to do that.
But not an arrogant, cocky prick like Menzel.
If you remember the Clemson game, Clemson knocked his ass out. I mean, I heard he injured his ribs or some shit. He came off the field for a play or two, and then came back and fuck you. Let's keep this dicking going. And that's what he did. So, I mean, it's Georgia fans though are really shitholes. That's the only term. I mean, I try to be nice, even when you're nice to them. I mean, they are just a shitty fan base. They really are. Well, they think they're the absolute best thing ever. They're not even a top 10 program in my mind. I can name 10 other programs that I think are better than Georgia now.
You know what? The only thing that makes Georgia a top 10 program, honestly, you bring up a good point, is perception. And that's when I say perception, I'm talking about recruiting classes. But
Herschel Walker's not there anymore.
Recruiting classes is just, I mean, who makes that a thing?
And they say the stupidest shit too, like, if we ever got a quarterback, well, let's evaluate that for a minute. Justin Fields was there. He was a fucking great quarterback. You didn't win with him. You had Matt Stafford there. He was a great quarterback. You didn't fucking win with him. You've had good quarterbacks. So shut your dick holes with all
But
that,
they've
man.
never had a JT Daniels.
I mean, Matthew Stafford.
They not only have they not ever had a JT Daniels, they've never had a JT Daniels with a Will Muschamp analyzing the coaching staff.
Well,
This
but
is
here's
fucking
the other thing too. They love JT Daniels so much, and they want to hammer Stetson Bennett III, the kid that went out there who was the fourth stringer, but went out there and tried to play his balls off to get out there to play because everybody else was injured or worthless. And he goes out there and he played their two toughest games on the season and lost them. But then JT Daniels comes in and plays last 5 games of the season. 4 of them were against teams that weren't really good, and he played Cincinnati. Stop thinking that he's the greatest thing ever. Look at his last season when he was in the Pac-12. They were probably glad to see him go. Southern Cal was like, see ya. We're not going to miss you. It's like you guys with Finley. Oh, he's gone to Georgia? Great. We could line up anybody and go win those 5 games with the talent Georgia has. It's just stupid, man. But fuck their fan base, man. They can go to hell.
But it is funny. It's interesting how you brought it up, and this isn't about race, but how some programs want that certain type of quarterback. Because I mean, Ohio State had no problem not utilizing a Joe Burrow and that style, that type of quarterback.
But Burrow, like I don't think that Burrow would have done well at Georgia because Burrow could, if you remember, Burrow could take off and run the ball. They don't put that kind of offense together at Georgia.
I absolutely remember.
You stay in the pocket and you hand the ball off to the running backs and you throw outs. That's what you do at Georgia.
That was the beauty of Joe Burrow, that he could do both.
Right, but I don't think that he would have had the opportunity to do that at Georgia because they wouldn't let him do it. They just wouldn't let him do it. And I think that's the big thing with Justin Fields. They didn't know how to put together an offense for him. One, because Kirby Smart is ignorant, and 2, they've just never had that kind of offense there.
Even Ohio State likes that certain type of quarterback. And Joe Burrow,
but Ohio State is one with a drop back passer. They won there with Craig Kimsel or whatever the hell the guy was. They've won with a drop back passer. They've won with a guy that runs around.
Let's be real. The main reason why Joe Burrow didn't become the starter is because when the opportunity presented itself, he was hurt. So he got injured.
He got injured. That's real. But they would have tailored that game to Joe Burrow. Man, they went with Cardale Jones.
Yeah.
You know, Cardale Jones, fuck out of here.
Well, that year they had 3 different quarterbacks?
Yeah. Cardale Jones, JT Barrett, and I think it was Barrett and and then Burrow, right? That was the 3. Yeah. So there's that. But if you know a Georgia fan, tell them to fuck off. Andre says, how do you choose Fromm over Fields? Yeah, well, because he didn't know how to use Fields' talent. That's why. They didn't recruit Deshaun Watson. Think about that. Clemson got Deshaun Watson because they offered him early. Georgia didn't offer him until late. They don't want a quarterback that can run around and make plays with his feet.
Is Watson from Georgia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dumbass.
Trevor Lawrence is from Georgia, and he didn't get offered until late. They have serious issues with picking quarterbacks there, and when they do one, they end up dicking him over. I mean, they had Nixon and that they all like Fromm, and Fromm was a fucking failure.
And you know what? I believe if I was a top talented quarterback like these guys we're talking about, and my state, not that Georgia doesn't have other big universities, but like it's Georgia, you're disrespecting me by not offering up a scholarship, trying to get me early on, and yet Clemson's jumping at the bits to get me. Well, fuck you then when you finally do.
Well, Clemson doesn't have an issue with right now withdrawing. I mean, They got Uyunglele. They also got the #1 quarterback for next season in Cole Kublik from Texas, I believe. He's going to Clemson. And, when you build that where you have that brand where, hey, this is where quarterbacks go, it's the same thing with Oklahoma. They're going to have good quarterbacks for a while. And LSU's kind of got that too with, you had Burrow and then Brennan, and that's recent. But before, remember when you had like such great talent there, but it was just you were a quarterback away. If you had a quarterback that was worth a shit, some of the teams you had would have been outstanding.
Jefferson was 2011. 2011 could have gone down as one of the greatest college football teams of all time.
Lee.
Especially Jared Lee, right? Especially because of that defense that we had in 2011. And of course, we shit the bed.
Who was throwing the ball to Odell Beckham? Who was throwing the ball to him?
Oh, that was
somebody I've never fucking heard of.
No, it was Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn. Oh yeah, he played.
I thought Flynn was long gone by that point.
Yeah, Edwin, help us out with that. Edwin knows all this.
It might have been. No, was it Mettenberger?
Mettenberger.
Man, he wasn't.
But really Mettenberger was. I mean, he was a solid quarterback. Mettenberger was a solid quarterback.
I don't know,
he was
but
big. Dude was like 6'5", 240.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, my final thing I wanted to do with you guys before we get out of here. Did you see where the Panthers had that player, JT eBay? He lit up a guy in practice.
Yeah.
And apparently, they cut him. Like literally cut him on the field. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but the other guy was carried off the field in a fucking stretcher.
Oh, I understand that, but when you look at the hit, it looked like a dirty ass hit.
Right.
Well, that's what they said. God. No, we're not playing that.
But it's like, but still though, and he said afterwards, he goes, man, it's a fast game and all that. But when I look at that hit, I mean, he was trying to knock that fucking guy's head off. But I think if that game was if that was in a regular season game, he probably, and I'm not trying to take up for him, but I think if he was out there and he hit somebody like that, he might have got ejected from the game, but management would be like, fuck yeah, that's right.
That's what we pay you for. That's what we pay you for.
That's what we pay you for. We pay you to knock motherfuckers out.
But we don't pay you to do that to your teammates. That's
exactly. Unless you're Steve Smith, who was fighting in practice. Everybody remembers that, where he literally boxed somebody in the face. I mean, it was some running back. I don't remember who it was, but Steve Smith was 5'8", and he's out there just knocking people out.
Steve Smith was.
You do it if you're Steve Smith.
Steve Smith was the fucking man.
Oh, of course you'd love Steve Smith. You're hoping one day to grow 1 foot 6 inches. You can be as tall as he was. Then you can ride all the rides at Disney World.
He's probably like the same height as you, but anyways.
He's 5'8". 5'8". Yeah. He was great though. You ever watch him play?
Yeah, I know. I just said that.
He was. I'd like to see him in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a Hall of Fame player.
Agreed. With both Carolina and Baltimore.
Built himself up from being a special teams player to a return guy to. He was one of the most feared receivers in the NFL for a while.
Dominant as fuck.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
And it's not like Carolina or Baltimore had these fucking Hall of Fame quarterbacks either. Like
Jake Delhomme was at Carolina, by God.
Right.
Jake Delhomme.
Now, Jake Delhomme is in the Ring of Honor at UL Lafayette, but we're talking about pro football, right? Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Pussy. Jake Delhomme is a pussy.
He's just a normal guy. Like, you could run into him at the Walmart and shit and be like, hey, Jake. And he's like, hey, just picking up some school supplies for the kids, you know?
Fuck him.
Oh, in New Orleans, there's a local, it's an ESPN radio station, but it's one of the daytime hosts for their sports show is John Fourcade.
John Fourcade. I love him. Was it 1987?
The strike shortened season.
Yeah, was that 1987?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
What when I was in high school, me and other guys on our high school football team got together and we made a flag football team. We competed in a local league. And one Sunday we show up and it's John Forcade, Ruben Mays, all these retired Saints players. And we were like, shit. They beat the dog shit out of us.
Ruben Mays was a badass.
I got an interception in that game off of John Forcade. I intercepted John Forcade.
So if I remember correctly, Dave, there was one year we had Ruben Mays, Craig Ironhead Hayward, and who was the other running back at that time?
Dalton
Hilliard. Yes, if I remember correctly, y'all can look it up. We had 3 1,000-yard running backs.
Andre asked, who was tougher, Smith or Hines Ward? Smith.
Smith for sure.
Hines
Ward
Ward
was a great receiver, though.
He's a great
Hines
receiver.
Ward was a great receiver. He didn't hit you in the mouth like Steve Smith.
Well,
Hines
but
Ward
Steve Smith would slap the shit out of you.
Yes,
I mean,
like literally.
It was. You know, you were talking about playing that. We used to have the YMCA in downtown Columbia, right? And we would have. They had 2 basketball courts, A court and B court. And this is like an old Y, like you walk in. I mean, it's like an old building and all that, right? And so you walk into this building and you go up, and there's 2 courts. There's A court and B court. B court is just, your regular average player. A court would have, and this is not a joke, Tyrone Corbin, remember him from the NBA, Xavier McDaniel. Who else would play up there? I mean, it was a laundry list of former South Carolina players and former Clemson football players, and a guy named Marcus Saxon who ended up, he's the all-time assist leader for Utah State, right? So I used to play basketball down there before they sold it to the church down there. And you'd go up, and I would be the only white kid on the court. But you're out there playing with these guys, and like Xavier McDaniel, even when he's in his late 40s, when he was playing, when he hits you, he knocks you into next month. And the guy that was your starting center for the New Orleans Saints in their Super Bowl win, John, what's his last name? I can't remember his last name. What's that?
Stinchcomb?
No, your center.
No, we've had this conversation before.
We have John. God, I can't remember his name.
It starts with
he's
H.
out. Yeah, he's out there playing too, and I gotta look it up. But John's out there playing too, and I remember like just seeing the caliber of athlete that those guys were, and being the pros that they were, and thinking, man, I wonder how great they were in their prime. I mean, Xavier McDaniel played against fucking Larry Bird, for God's sake. Wrap your head around that for a minute. So I'm trying to find out the starting Super Bowl lineup. John, God, I know his last name, and as soon as I see it,
we did the same fucking thing last time.
Did we really? I don't remember, but like,
I'm the show historian. I remember everything.
Yeah, 2019, Jonathan Goodwin. That's it. So Jonathan Goodwin's out there, and he'd slimmed down from his NFL weight, but he was a massive guy.
He didn't lose his strength.
Fuck no. That guy hits you, and you're like, fuck off with all that. Oh my God, it was fucking insane. But you go down there and see some of those guys play, and you just realize how insignificant of a human being you are on the athletic front when God gives talent to some of these guys that they were just put here to play said sport. And it's why am I out here? Why am I playing with these fuckers?
We're talking about the sport of basketball. But you're a normal guy. Talent and size are 2 different things. Some people are just big and get to do what they want because they're big. Others use that same size and have more talent, but it doesn't mean just because you're big, that you're talented.
Okay.
Well, who was the first pick of Jordan's draft? The guy that was the bust.
Oh God, was that the kid from Kentucky?
But
I
yeah,
don't remember. Yeah, I it was a center from Kentucky, if I remember right.
yeah.
You remember like the whole story with what was it? I love the Shaq story where Stanley Roberts, who was right here from Columbia, was a 7-foot center down there with Shaq, and Shaq told Coach Brown, "Hey, I just want to rebound and block shots." Fuck out of here, Shaq. Because Stanley Roberts was that good. I mean, but he would beat, he was great. But I don't know.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, well, Stanley Roberts had a drug problem, is how that worked out. I mean, and that's real. But Stanley Roberts was considered one of the best to play basketball in our state. Ray Allen's from our state, so is Kevin Garnett. Zion Williamson's from our state. We've had some fucking great basketball players here. But yeah, they end up fucking leaving.
I mean, all the great basketball players that come and play for New Orleans end up leaving. Chris Paul's gone. Baron Davis left. Anthony Davis left.
I'm talking about they played here in high school. Like they played here in high school. Like Zion Williamson played at Spartanburg Day and was just fucking stupid.
And chose not to go to Clemson or South Carolina. Or
Well, his stepdad went to Clemson and play, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going there."
Yeah, I remember that.
South Carolina. Jermaine O'Neal's another one. Delta, thank you for that.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, we had so much. Who's the kid from the kid from Memphis? Played at Murray State. That won Rookie of the Year. God, I forget his name.
Ja
Morant. Ja Morant is from South Carolina too. Like Ja Morant played on the same fucking AAU team as Zion. Could have had them both here in South Carolina. They're like, nah, we're leaving.
Yeah,
well, Morant didn't even get an offer.
Well, I was going to say
South Carolina.
It's not like he went and play for Duke or Kentucky. He went and play for Murray State.
Murray State's a hell of an OVC team, sir. I know that you only watch suck-ass Duke, but Murray State's got some tradition. Fucking Popeye Jones, motherfucker. You don't know, Google it. Ugliest motherfucker to ever play in the NBA, but he's a hell of a player.
All right. I'll trust you.
Yeah, Google Popeye Jones. Played for the Mavericks. He was a hell of a player. No much. Got to educate you fools on hoops. Ridiculous. One of you loves Duke. The other one loves a coach that pays his players. Fuck is wrong?
I don't love Will Wade. I wanted us to fire him.
Should have. All right. Well, anyway.
That guy that coached the Flint Tropics, I'd have been fine.
In the show description, I put the pick'em contest that I'm doing with my other podcast. Everybody should enter the pick'em contest. It's $20. We pick 10 games a week the first week, then 5 games a week against the spread. We see who can actually pick the most games. So if you would like to enter the contest, enter the contest. It's a lot of fun. You could win a good chunk of money the day after Championship Sunday. You could have it was like $1,200 last year, I think it was. So $1,200 to give to the wife to go Christmas shopping. If you win, cost you $20. There you go. So enter the pick'em contest.
Buddy.
Yeah. So pay the $20 and enter the contest. You guys will enjoy it. It's a really cool contest.
I want a side bet with the two of you.
Enter the contest, and I'll make a bet with you. I'll finish ahead of you. I mean, I've never finished lower than 5th in our contest.
Right.
I will finish ahead of you.
And you're all knowing at basketball because you just taught me all kind of basketball stuff too. But anyways, yeah.
You don't know who Popeye Jones is.
I know who Popeye Jones is. I don't fucking know what that fucking.
All you know is let Cherokee Parks play tonsil hockey with his penis. That's all you know.
Cherokee Parks was a solid fucking center. That was a solid fucking center.
He can eat a bag of dicks. Him and Christian Laettner can share them.
Right, the greatest college basketball player of all time, besides your boy Pistol Pete.
Christian Laettner I would not have him on any team of mine. Fuck him forever. He can go straight to hell. Can't stand that bastard. He can go straight to hell. Christian Laettner, seriously.
Well,
Fuck
let me tell y'all what I learned from this show.
What? That Christian Laettner sucks donkey dick?
Yeah, right. That according to Rob, Clemson's going to put up 70 on Florida State because fuck
Clemson's going
them
to wad up
for
Florida
that
State.
hurricane shit, and they're also going to put up 70 on shit. There's another team y'all put 70 up on.
UGA.
Oh, Georgia.
I want them to put up 70. I don't think they can, but I hope they do. There's things that I hope. See, now you're spreading lies. Okay? I said if Dallas Sweeney can hang 70, he will.
Hey.
All right, because they ducked us last year. Be truthful with what you're saying here, sir.
You're in the media, bro. I just learned from watching you guys.
And you think, hold on, find somewhere where I misled people with something that I said like that. I'll wait.
70 points. 70 points.
I'm hoping that they'll hang 70 on Georgia and 70 on Florida State.
Everybody else, you're good with 50, though, right?
Good with 50 for the rest of them, sure. I mean, I want Clemson to win every game, but
that's fair.
I don't.
That's fair.
I think that I'd like for them to put 70 on fucking Florida State, and I'd like for them to put 70 on Georgia because their fan base deserves it.
Serious question. Either team doesn't matter. Sure. Would you rather hang 70 on a team? Let's call it 70 to 28, or shut them the fuck out.
I want to hang 70 on Georgia.
So what about a 35 to nothing? You'd rather?
I mean that's fine too, but I'd like to hang 70 on them because they want to talk about we've got this great defense. When you play a good defense, you don't play well. I mean, when you play against a good quarterback, you don't play well. So yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm not the one to go with all that because, I'm a passionate fan when it comes to that stuff, and I feel like Georgia doesn't respect Clemson, and they should. They should, and they will.
I don't really think Georgia respects anybody.
Well,
no, absolutely. Georgia fans don't respect anybody. That goes back to what I was saying. Like Oklahoma fans actually respect their opponents. I don't think Georgia fans actually do. But anyways.
Well, there you go. So there's all that. Okay. Well, we've had a good show. We'll be back at it next week. Maybe we'll pick some games next week. We'll see what we can do.
Let's do it.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Talk to you guys later on. See you then.
Later.
Good night, everybody.